Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on an 38-year-old, a 38-year-old from Bietigheim, Bissingen, Baden-Württemberg, Deutschland. He played for Team Germany under 18s, under 19s, whatever that is, and the World Juniors. He's a Deutsche Meister in the Zweite Bundesliga. And Fear 40 is retired, which is 44, is retired for the Bietigheim Steelers in his hometown, where he played pro before he hit puberty. Welcome to the podcast, Dirk Wrobel.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me on the podcast, man.
Oh, buddy, we tried to schedule this for like months, and it's time change and everything, eh?
It's unreal, man. Time changed big time.
Well, like with kids and the actual time change between Germany and Canada, it sucks.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially if you have kids and a real job, not a hockey player anymore. It's different, man.
Oh, it's so different. It is. And 6 hours is like, for me to, there's so many German guys I want to have on that I just don't have, like the time change is just not possible, you know?
Yeah. What is it? 6 hours, you said?
Yeah. So anyways, moving on, how I usually start this is how we know each other. And there's a lot here. When I started in Bietigheim, you were the one that taught me how to sauna for real.
Sauna? Oh yeah, that's like a German thing here.
Yeah, like we don't know how to sauna in Canada. Nobody knows how to sauna.
Definitely not. The Canadians had no idea how to sauna. I remember it. Yeah, you coming in with a towel. Okay, that's obvious, but with a like your bath shorts on. How do you call it?
Your bathing suit. Yeah.
Badehose.
Bathing suit. Yeah.
Everybody's like, what is this guy doing there? They almost said they kicked you out of the sauna.
Well, I had no problem going in naked once I knew that's what we were doing. But yeah, I remember going there, and it's you go to the gym, you work out, and then it's a co-ed sauna. Like there's boys and girls in there naked. And my story for today actually is because Lisa would go with PJ Fenton's wife, and they worked out. And then we got that new coach that didn't want me back, and the two girls are in there. They have the towels wrapped around them. But then our little redheaded coach,
he was sitting in a sauna.
No, he walked in, Buck, and he says, "Ladies."
Yeah, what a douchey, man. Oh my God.
So anyways, yeah, my the girls had to see what he was working with that day in the co-ed sauna.
Oh my God, man, oh boy, yeah, I'm telling you that sauna is different in Germany, but actually it doesn't come from Germany. I think it's a big Europe thing though, like Russia or Finland or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but with the way you taught me how you go in 15, go out for 15 and like have the cold shower and then wrap yourself in the towels, like man, you'd leave there like a wet noodle.
The wet noodle. Yeah, I remember it like first time you coming in there, and I have some nice stories. I was thinking about all week long what I can talk about here on the podcast.
Oh,
I have some nice things here.
There's a lot we could talk about.
Some Wally stories here. Yeah, we had a great time in Bietigheim. That's to the start. All the podcasts. We had a great time there.
Yeah, we did. We had a great time in Bietigheim, especially like the year we won it. That was the next thing I had is when we were Deutsche Meisters. That was my first year in Bietigheim, and it was you winning in your hometown, eh?
Yeah, that was big for me. Like I was from like growing up in that town and becoming a pro in my hometown. That was big for me. Like I know you have a different hockey system there in Canada. It's like almost impossible to do that in Canada. But for us in Germany, it's like huge, especially like the team like Bietigheim is it's not an old hockey club. There's like almost no tradition in that hockey club. By the time I was playing, it's almost 10 or like 12 years ago. But yeah, it's like to grow up and cheer for the team as a fan almost, and then like get up and make the pro team and winning the championship one day. That's very special. That was a cool thing for us, like for the whole team, but especially like, or for me, it was something huge.
Yeah, I won like the highest I could do in my hometown, which was junior B, right? Like you
Mm,
got to win a professional title. And I think it was the first one in
exactly.
Baden-Württemberg for any
Yeah,
sports team, right?
yeah, yeah. That was the first for the like the first team. I don't know if this in Baden-Württemberg, but anyway, that was like huge, even like for the Bietigheim city, because like normally we should go up to the DL, right? And we didn't make it, but that's another story. But yeah, like the team was like they tried to make it for like whatever 15 years or something like that, and never made it. And we're the first ones who did it. And I think everybody was so pumped up after that. Like that party after that, that was unreal. And that year was unbelievable. Like I still was every time I talked to Hammer, you had him on the podcast too. I remember that one. Like remember when we were in England at the start of the year?
Yeah, we went to Sheffield.
Exactly. And yeah, like I was first day or something like that. We're coming to Sheffield. I think that was the first time we hit ice, right? Like we're right from Bietigheim coming there and
Yeah,
like
I think so.
staying.
We had just been running and running and
Yeah,
running.
exactly. And 400 meters, like whatever, like crazy chickens there.
Yeah.
And we're coming to Sheffield, and first day was over, and I was there in Bietigheim for like whatever 5 years, something like that. And the coach was there too. He was a year too, like the year before he was there too. And I was never expecting to play power play or something, like never ever. But the year before he had me on the first power play. So this is the story. I went to the elevator with the Landshut guys like Hammer and Smatzy and Gaipi, and we're standing in the elevator. I didn't know the guys very good, but they're talking and they said, "Hey, if this coach still does that shit, what he does like in the summer, blah blah blah, he's bad, blah." And I said, "Yeah, that's true." I said the only thing I said, "Yeah, you guys are right." Next day, boom, fourth line. So he kicked me right to the fourth line. We're still laughing about it because I said Hammer's a fucking idiot. You know, he was right away. He ran to the coach and tell him that I said that.
You think it was Hammer?
No way.
No.
I'm just joking.
No, I know, but
He
that did
no.
happen. I remember that happening to you because the year before I played in Landshut, we played you in the playoffs, and you were the first
Yeah,
pair defenseman, and you were the lefty.
yeah,
So I was always up
exactly.
against you, like the whole
Yeah,
series, being a right
yeah,
winger, and I dump it in your corner, and you'd be able to turn so fast and get the puck and just skate it out, and I'd be so pissed off. But then the next year, you literally like I signed there, and then you literally like didn't play.
no, I was like fucking like whatever ninth D man or eighth D man at the start of the
And
year,
they
and
called you
finally,
up to the DL for a game, and you couldn't
yeah,
crack our line.
exactly. Like they called me up to the DL. I was playing that was like against Mannheim or whatever. With we played against Mannheim. I was playing a lot, and they're like asking me to stay there. And coach was like, no, he should come back. It's like, hey, okay, thanks a lot. So and then I came back, and he said, okay, you be forward now. So I was like a forward then. And the next year, like the year after the championship, I was playing like third line center or whatever. And in the playoffs, I played second line center. So it's a disaster.
Yeah, I remember that coach really turned on you, but we'll get into that. So the other thing how we know each other was you so I hurt my knee this my second year. You play second, third line center. And then basically you're done hockey, and then you become like my not on the team buddy. Like you're the guy
Yeah,
I hang out with that's
yeah,
not on the team where there's the team, but then I still hang out with you all the time, right?
yeah. We had a good time there, and that was a pretty funny time for me too because I was done with hockey, and I started a different career. I get a real job after it, and for me it was very good to still hang out with the boys.
Yeah, for sure.
And
You lived right in the neighborhood too.
exactly, and I think the team changed a lot by that year, right?
Mm.
So after that second year, a lot of people like Justin went away, and
Everybody was
like
gone, man. And then I realistically I didn't the guys on the team I didn't have as much in common with, and I didn't have
Yeah.
the friends on the team like I used to when we were good.
Yeah. I think there was like whatever 70% of the team left. And it was a lot of new guys, so I didn't know much of the people, but just like you and Hammer were there, and a couple of like Kaipi was there. No, I'm not sure.
I don't. He went back to Landshut, I think, that time.
But you and Hammer, and we had a good time.
So yeah, we did. We had a good time. We ate some Schweinebraten. We went for lunches. Yeah, a lot of Schweinebraten.
Schweinebraten.
The pig belly.
Beer sauce on top of it. Beer sauce.
Yeah. Oh, every Wednesday at Hammer Times.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I don't know why I was out of shape. I don't know why I got out of shape that year. I have no idea. I can't figure it out. So the other reason we know each other, though, speaking of Hammer, episode 7, I think, folks, is that's when we were just starting this pod. Is yourself and I, when I had hernia surgery my last year in Bietigheim, I had played my last game for them. Season wasn't over, but I had surgery, so we went to Dresden to go visit Hammer.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember it.
We did a road trip, the two of us.
Oh, I forget about that. That was not on my plan to talk about tonight. Yeah, you're right, Dresden. That was funny time too, man. We drove up there. I picked you up, and I think after like whatever 25 minutes, we stopped. You said you need lunch. You need McDonald's big time. We stopped right away, McDonald's. Yeah, we had a fun time there. I think Hammer played by that time, right?
I don't think we watched them play a game. I think it was just a couple off days, and we got together and watched some soccer with their guys on the Dresden team, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
That was a good weekend, but that's how I got to know German so well. So I guess we probably should try and mix in a little German today, because I know Hammer said I should try and do a full one in German, but there's no way I can do that. But
you could do it.
Wow, back 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, you could say Baden-Württemberg.
And the other, we'll get into this later too, but the other reason we know each other is I was part of your jersey retirement Mannschaft, which is team.
Yes, that was a funny game. That was a funny game. I think you played there. Danny was coach, right?
Yeah, Danny held. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Danny. And he was coaching. That was fun. We had that game. I invited a couple of old players. They played with me, and then we had the party after it.
Where was the party? What?
That was big. That wasn't a. I think was it a swinger club?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, that was.
I had never seen one of those before, and when we went in there, and the team hosts the party for your retirement jersey there. They
rent that room, and that was actually pretty funny though. Like that party was good. There were a lot of people there.
No, it was a great party, and I hadn't been in an establishment like that before. There were some weird walls and rooms and stuff in that place.
I was walking in there and I was scared, but that was actually yeah.
But that's a night you'll never forget, eh? Having your jersey retired by your hometown.
That's a special thing, especially like if I'm not that often in Bietigheim anymore. But if I go and I visit the rink, then to see your jersey up there, it's pretty special.
I would think so.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool. I've had 2 guys on my podcast that have had their jersey retired. Dirk, number 44, and Big Sexy, JK27, episode 9, Justin Kelly.
Yeah. You've been there at his retirement game, no, right?
I was invited, but I couldn't come because I didn't have enough holidays, and I had to go to Wally night in Cardiff, so I couldn't do both.
Yeah, I remember.
But that would have been fun, man. That I saw all the pictures, and he deserves it, man. That guy was the mayor, eh?
Yeah.
And Justin the next one will be Renee Schufs, right?
Yeah, 1,000 games, man, and what is that, 5th championship?
5 championships, and he's played 1,000 games for the same team, and you only played like less than 50 games a year. Like if you add that up, that's a lot of seasons.
That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, but hopefully you're there when he's inviting us to the game.
Yeah, maybe. I just got in contact with him again, and I got to be part of his tribute video that they played with Renee.
Oh, Renee. Okay.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking to him sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw they got some kids now and everything. It's been a long time since I've seen them because when you leave a town, I spent 4 years in Bietigheim and it did feel like family or like
Yeah.
home with you there. Like you helped with that because you were from there, and even when you weren't on the hockey team, it was still someone I knew in town. And then I got to know a whole bunch of people around town. Lisa did too, and it felt like home. And then you don't sign there, and then you just never go back, right?
I know, yeah. And then the people are gone, right? So in Deutschland, wir sagen aus den Augen, aus dem Sinn.
You grow up somewhere and then leave.
What? Yeah, yeah.
Is that what
No,
you
no,
said?
no, not grow up somewhere. It means like you go and you're best buddies with some people, and before you go, or like when you're together, you say, hey, if we leave or if you go next year to this team, we still keep in touch.
Yeah.
And then you're gone and you never heard of this guy anymore.
Oh, that's definitely how it goes.
That's
Yeah,
this is
until you
this
start a
is
podcast, right? Um,
exactly
so
that's a good thing.
that is you said that you don't get back there very often. So then the question is, where and what are you doing now?
Okay, now I'm close to or in South Germany still. It's like whatever 2 hours away from Bietigheim, close to the Bodensee.
Oh yeah, like by
You can,
Ravensburg.
yeah, it's like 20 minutes away from Ravensburg, and
The
yeah,
Bodensee is really nice, eh?
nice area. Seriously, I'm like so many times I was thinking about going back to Bietigheim one day, but no way. It's so nice, man. It's like you have the mountains right away, you have the Bodensee around the corner,
And
and
if I'm not wrong, is not the Bodensee like Germany in one spot, Austria, Switzerland,
yeah,
like they all kind of
Italy,
combine
yeah.
on the same
Yeah, yeah,
sea,
yeah, yeah.
right?
France, Austria, Switzerland, and Germany. And
Okay.
Italy is very close too, so it's very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, Lisa
it's
and I went there
awesome.
for a vacation once, and
Yeah,
Beckham was going
yeah.
swimming there, and yeah, I remember it.
Biggest lake here in the area. Yeah, it's awesome. It's
And you're
very
a
nice.
teacher now, right?
I'm teaching. It's called like in the whatever. How do you say middle school? Like in the like
Like
grade 5 to 10. So it's like whatever. How old are they?
what subject?
11 to 17. Maths, sports, and biology.
Okay. You
Yeah.
got a bit of everything, eh?
Mhm. Yeah, but it's nice. It's very good. I'm very happy by the time I have to quit. I was 26, so by that time I was pretty mad about quitting hockey. But in the end of the day, I'm very happy that I get that exit and find a good job.
That is I guess you did have the reason, folks, that he retires at 26, but he does have his jersey retired, even though he was done at 26. That's how important he was to the town of Bietigheim. Seriously, but is the injury you did have? Because I remember you couldn't even move a couple of your fingers, right?
Yeah, still problems with my fingers. Like I broke my bone in my arm. I don't know how to call it, like between elbow and the shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Like
But
tricep.
didn't you overextend your arm,
Yeah,
right?
I was like whatever, I'm battling on the ice, and both guys fell down, and me and him try to get up, and behind us the next battle starts, and the guy like fell in my arm, overextended, and the bone was like done.
Ah,
And yeah, it was not like a normal like bone break.
break. Yeah.
It was like whatever, turning and exploding and whatever. So that was bad injury. I
Yeah.
was like
And you're
20 years
still
old.
dealing with that, eh?
I still deal with it, but or I still have problems. Like my finger is still bad. But yeah, like at the end of the year, I was like, only painkillers can help me to play hockey.
I
And
was the same with my knee for like 8 years, and now I when I got back, I said I'm not taking any more.
yeah, that was the reason with me too. So someday, like whatever, if you another injury, like and you don't feel anything, that's pretty bad, especially if you have some serious stuff. So yeah, that was a bad thing, that injury. Um, but I'm lucky enough to have another after that injury 5 or 6 years hockey, and yeah,
That's
and
big.
thank God,
Yeah.
thank God. At the end of the day, I'm like, I'm happy that I was 26 and could do something else, like very easy.
Yeah,
I was,
instead of being like 35, 40, like
yeah,
some guys that we're friends with now that are getting out of the
yeah,
game. And like,
yeah,
there's a lot of guys that like, they really don't think about it until it's
yeah,
too late, right?
yeah, yeah. That's a big problem of hockey, I think, in my opinion.
What's it
That
like for Germans? Because Canadians, there's the NCAA route. You can get university. The OHL can pay for some school, but like, how does it work in Germany? Because you guys are playing pro when you're like you didn't even have hair on your balls and you were playing pro, probably, eh?
yeah, it's like you play in Germany, you play by like how is it now? I'm not very into it, but by the day when I was playing, I was like playing for the junior team, and the junior team in Bietigheim, they just play, yeah, whatever teams around the corner. I say let's whatever 30-minute trips to some bad teams. You win the game 16-1 or something like that, or lose 24-1, some stupid shit, and it's not very good competition there. And yeah, like I was starting practicing with a pro team when I was 15 with the pros. And I remember I had my first game I don't know if Düsseldorf, right?
Yeah, where Justin played. I went and visited him there. Yeah.
Exactly. So I remember they played like almost the whole history they played in the first league in Germany. But when I was 15 or 16 years old, they had to go down 1 year to the second league. And by that year, I was like working out and practicing with a pro team. And Bietigheim went to the playoffs against Düsseldorf in the second league.
Yeah.
And the coach, the time in Bietigheim, told me, "Hey, you're practicing with us the whole year, so you want to go to Düsseldorf? You want to play in Düsseldorf?" And I was like 16 years old. I had no idea how he mean it or if it's a joke or not. And he brought me to Düsseldorf, and I was playing like in the whatever second or third period. I was playing there, and like Düsseldorf, it's a like an old barn by that time. It's a
Not
traditional old
not the
barn.
new not the new one they have now.
No. The old barn, like it's right downtown, right in the middle of the city. Like it's unbelievable there. Yeah, and he was putting me in. I was 16 years old, and by the time like you're 16 years old, then next year you get a contract. And yeah, I remember I was in school in the 11th grade, and doing my final education, and I had to go to practice every morning. Like I went to school
Do you
from
keep
7.
hitting something with your hand? Are you hitting the desk?
I hit the desk.
You're getting handsy on me. Stop it. I feel it. I feel it. I
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah. So I was yeah, like
Keep
in
your hands
school.
to yourself.
I was in school, and then go to practice all the time like that. But this is how
So
it
you'd
works.
go to school during the day and then the pro team would be at night? Like what if the pro team
No,
practices
no, no,
during
no,
the
no. I was in school from whatever I said, 7 o'clock in the morning till whatever 9:30 or something like that. And the pro team had practice. I went from school to practice, quit school, and then I go back to school every day.
and they're okay with it because you're doing it.
Yeah, and they told me it's your own problem. If you make it, then you make it. If you don't make it, then it's your own problem.
Um
This works in Germany
Well,
by
I'm
that
pretty
time.
sure when I went to Landsuit, they told me something about if there were some exemptions if you're a sportsman, but are you not supposed to put in 3 months with like the army or whatever, like the military, and during school? Isn't that part of school?
No, it's not part of school. It's if you're hitting 18, and if you're done with school. Back in the day, today it's different. Then you go to the army, or you have the option. You go to the army, or you go to it's called what do you call it? Whatever, it doesn't matter. You,
Yeah,
you
okay.
drive around like whatever, the Krankenwagens, the ambulance or something like that, and help like handicapped people, stuff like that.
Okay.
Zivildienst it's called. And
Okay.
but that was, you have the option. Yeah, I was there too for like whatever 2 weeks. Then I was lucky. The army told me to come. Like I had to come to the army in June, and I was playing for Bietigheim, and but they didn't want to sign me back. So the army told me to come. So I was there for 2 weeks, and then I signed in Bremerhaven, and the manager of Bremerhaven was one of the highest guys in the army in Germany. So he made whatever one phone call, and
And you're out.
The guy came up to me and said, "Hey, get out." He
Were
goes
you
right
there
away.
for 2 weeks first?
I was there. I had to be there for 2 weeks because I signed after 2 weeks. I didn't have a contract when I went to the army,
And then
but
it's not up to you. You have to join the army.
yeah, like you have to go. Yeah, that was back then. Today it's different. You can say you don't want to go, but by that time you had to go. You had the option go to the
That's what
army.
I
Or,
remember. I remember them saying that, and I was like, wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
different than
yeah. That
Canada.
was whatever 25 years ago.
Yeah, no, yeah, I guess it was a long time ago that I started playing there. I guess it was 2007. So, right? So that's a long time ago.
A long time ago, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, anyways, I guess ich kann sprechen ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich nicht arbeiten bei mein Deutsch für 8 oder 9 Jahre, oder?
Ja, aber das ist aber gut. Das sprichst du
Nicht
immer noch
sehr
gut.
gut, though. Ich verstanden, aber mein Sprechen ist nicht so gut.
Ja, aber verstehst du alles doch?
Nicht alles, aber ja, ein
Viel.
bisschen.
Okay, ein bisschen.
Ja, genau.
Ja, du sprichst immer noch gut Deutsch.
Ah,
How long you been in Germany for?
6 years.
Yeah, that's very good.
Wow. It's been a long time though. Like once I left, I literally haven't used it other than like one wedding or I told the Germans that were there, like I didn't know English so I could
Yeah, but
practice.
you did a lot. You know what you did a lot with German guys.
I did, yeah.
You know, normally for most of the Canadians, don't understand me wrong, Canadians, but most of the time you have a couple of other Canadians in your team and families there. So the most of the imports that they hang around with the families, and they don't have to speak German in Germany, you know.
I
In
know,
English,
and especially in the
almost,
especially in the DL, right? Because then
yeah,
there's 10 or 11 of them. But
almost everybody understands you in Germany if you order something in English or yeah.
no, I know. But then I'll never forget the day I went into McDonald's and I got the French fries and I'm like, can I get some mayo? The girl's
Some
like,
mayo.
what's mayo? What's mayo? And I'm like, mayo. And she goes, what's mayo? And I'm like, mayo. And she, oh, mayo. I was like, oh, okay. You can put that
Yeah,
together for me. And by the way, Thresher Belgian wit beer from my sponsor, the Bayfield Brewing Company, which is it was the first time I've explained the Thresher, Dirk. It is our Belgian wit beer, delights with hints of orange and coriander. Our thank you to the machine that threshes wheat and not needing to spend hours removing seed kernels by hand. And it's a Belgian wit beer, 4.8%, Dirk. There you go.
4.8.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, now.
What
I guess you don't go back to Bietigheim. Is my favorite restaurant still there? Rossknecht downtown.
Rossknecht, yeah, it's still there.
Oh, what a place that was!
It's
That was
still,
their own little brewery
I've
too.
never like. I think last time I've been there was with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably last time I was there was with you. Probably last time I was at Colombo for tomato soup too.
Tomato soup at Colombo's.
Yeah, I remember all the meals in Bietigheim. Why do I always remember the food? What's wrong with me?
I don't know. Yeah. What kind of food do you eat now?
The same.
Schweinebraten? Does Lisa does Schweinebraten sometimes for you?
Well, now I'm got into the cooking now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I once, it was mainly when I got to Denmark. When I left Germany, I missed the food so much and their food was pretty bland. I got into like figuring out how to cook all the food I liked. So now I can make most things, I would say. But yeah, no, I like cooking a lot now, but no, I still like doner kebabs and now I just make them here.
But there's no doner kebab in Canada, right?
Yeah, wow, there's not many of the stores, like not many. There's no meat rotating on a stick in town here. No, but in the big cities they got that now.
Yeah, for sure, but not in your.
No, not here. I got to do it myself.
How big is that?
Oh, we're pretty small here, but I don't want to guess because I could be way off, and then the locals might. No, I would say we're about 10,000. I give or take. I'm not sure though.
But not as big as Bietigheim though.
No, and it's rural too. It's all farming too. But you know what? Bietigheim's very similar. Like it had a small town feel. It's just you guys pack people into smaller places, right? More than
Yeah,
Canada.
probably.
Yeah, more apartment buildings, but like it's still, you guys had all the vineyards around, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So moving on, you started playing pro when you were 16 in the finals. That's where we were at,
not in the finals, in the playoffs.
in the
That was just
playoffs. And
first
you
round.
actually got ice time and stuff at that
I
age.
did, yeah.
So then that when you make like under 17 and under 18, or did they have tryouts? Did you have to go try out for those teams, or did they just pick you?
For the national team,
Yeah.
yeah, they had some tryouts. Yeah, they had some camps before, and for the first one, under 16, they had some camps, and from that, if you're on the under 16 team and you play for a pro team, then they see you play in some season games, and that's how they invite you to more national team stuff.
So then how about this? The first time you made the team, you made it 3 years in a row, it looked like, on Elite Prospects. So where are the tournaments? You go anywhere cool?
Tournaments, actually under 16, under 17, under 18.
And World Juniors you were on.
Yeah, but World Juniors was under 20. That was like we went. I remember under 18 we went once to Detroit. We had a tournament where we played the US and Detroit. And but I don't think that the US, they have an under 17 project, right?
Yeah.
But Canada does not, right?
Yeah, they have under 17, but it's not Canada. They're like broken up into like the province or whatever. It used to be like that.
So they have the first real national team for the World Juniors.
Yeah, the 18 and under, they do have it, but but there's still like kids playing major junior or something. I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, like the first one where it's really the best of the best is the World Juniors, I think.
Okay. So we went to Detroit playing against the US team, and we're the best from Germany playing against some US team, and we didn't have a sniff. So we that was a cool trip to Detroit. And unless we're just hanging around Europe, Finland and Russia and Switzerland and Italy and all that stuff, Sweden.
Yeah, I guess it's not even that big of a deal to you guys because you're already growing up in Germany. But for like us Canadians to get to go over to Europe, it's so cool, right?
Probably, yeah. So for us, it was cool because like we had some trips and to different countries in 1 year. Usually you don't get to Sweden, Finland, and Russia by one, or like in 1 year. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. So,
but the biggest thing, like I remember we played under 18 World Championship.
Yeah.
And we beat, by that time, I remember we beat the US.
You did, eh?
In the world junior, or not in the World Juniors, in the world under 18
and under, yeah.
We beat the US, we beat Sweden, and we beat the Czech Republic. And like we're fifth. We went to the quarterfinals against Russia. We lost against Russia, and or against Switzerland, or anyway. And we finished fifth in the standings. That was huge.
Yeah, for sure.
2 years later, we went to the World Juniors to Canada. That was in Halifax, and we lost all. There's almost all, like in Europe, they have those junior programs, and the guys you play against, they're almost the same. Like whatever, that's like 75% are the same guys they played in under 18 too. And we had no chance, man. There in those 2 years.
So you went to Halifax and played like in the top tier of the World Juniors. So did you play Canada?
Yeah, we did.
Well, how was that?
We did. Yeah, that was unreal, man. We had the.
You got to remember all this stuff nowadays, don't you?
I do. I remember it like we played in Halifax. There are a lot of people in there. I think it was sold out in there. Who played for Canada? I think Canada doesn't have any big star in that team. Okay, Marc-Andre Fleury played in that. And
this would be the 83s.
Yeah, exactly.
My age. You're saying there's nobody from Canada in the 83s. Geez, that hurts, man.
No, like not like
I'm kidding, you doggy.
Really big star,
I know, I'm kidding. I know.
Who's there, man? Like I remember for Russia, Ovechkin played for Russia.
Did you play against Ovechkin?
No, we didn't play Russia.
Oh, that's too bad.
That was
I
just the
did see
group.
he was that age. Like I saw he was in those tournaments you were in. So you
Yeah,
didn't play against him, eh?
but I don't play against them.
He probably would have killed you.
Kowalczyk was there. I remember it, but not in the under 20. He was in the NHL already, but in the under 18.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's cool that you got to represent your country. Like,
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
yeah, like, and you got to do it a lot of times. Like, that's a big deal,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, that was huge to represent the country, and especially in those tournaments. Um, but it's always hard, or for us it was always hard, or to know that yeah, you go there and your only goal is not to go down to the second division,
Not get
and
relegated, yeah.
yeah, and if you made it, like in the under 18, that was huge for us. That was the like, you think you're God, and 2 years later you play the same guys, and you think you did a good workout in the summertime, but some other guys did like 1,000% more than you, and they're so much better and faster, and that was unbelievable. But
Yeah,
it was
no,
it was a cool thing. I remember it like in Halifax, we stayed in the Cell Hotel room as Canada, as national team Canada, and as the World Juniors are right now, if you follow it, like TSN is almost everywhere where Canada is or the Canadian team is, and we stayed in the same hotel. So every morning we came out to get to the bus or to walk to the hockey rink in Halifax. There are like cameras all over the place, and we're like, man, we're just like a bunch
rock
of
stars.
yeah. That was like the Canadians. I think they're not. They couldn't even walk to the rink. You know what I mean? They had to drive the bus because the people
There's
just,
fans and
oh my god. And we just run around with our German national team jogging Anzug, training Anzug,
yeah.
and nobody cares that you're.
No. Okay, well, that's cool. You got to do that. I did see though, I thought this was a fun fact, is the year you play in the World Juniors is the same year you're playing your 4th year pro.
Is it, was it?
Your 4th year pro, you're in the World Juniors.
That's unbelievable, eh?
Little bit different,
Fantastic,
little different
yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different.
So moving on though, is my question. So you play for the World Juniors, you're playing pro in your hometown, but then you said they didn't want you and you joined the Army because how do you not re-sign with Bietigheim? Were you holding out? Were you trying to get too much money? You didn't want to share the wealth, or how do you end up in Bremerhaven in the 3rd league, in the Oberliga, and the Army?
And the Army. Actually, it was like the coach, which is in Bietigheim right now, was the coach by that time too. And
what's the name here?
Can I say it?
I don't care.
Yeah, Denny Note or Denny No.
Since I left Bietigheim, nobody from that team organization said anything to me about anything except Justin inviting me back.
I don't care. So he was coaching the team, and I was asking him after the year before if he needs me back, because, or like what kind of D-man I am in his mindset.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, probably number 6 or number 7. So I was like, okay, if I still want to be in that German national team program, I need to play,
Yeah.
Like I don't want to go to the. I was talking to by that time to a DL team, to Freiburg, and they said probably they want me, but I knew I need to play. If you don't play, if you sit in the stands and you say, "Boy, I played DL for 2 years. How many games you played?" Probably 1. Then
you're supposed to get better in practice, and like
exactly.
It's not the same as playing games.
No, I think playing games is the only way you can get better. And so my decision was then, okay, I go to Bremerhaven. They played in the Oberliga, so I came from the World Juniors to the 3rd league. And but those 2 years, or like 1.5 years, the second year I hurt my arm, were good for myself because I was in the first D pair and I played a lot. And,
was your partner Rich Brunella?
exactly. Richie Brunilla was my partner there.
He played with me in Landshut.
I know.
Yeah, he was my buddy in Landshut.
I think in my opinion, one of the best D-men I played with, like on my side, because I think he was just so smooth and easy all
Oh
the time.
yeah, he was a great D-man. Yeah,
The
he
way he
never
skates
he
and
never looked like any of the
no,
play was moving too fast for him. He was always cool, calm, and collected.
yeah, I think he never looked like like losing it, on the ice,
Yeah, like
or doesn't
panicked or anything.
know
Yeah,
nothing.
he's
He was
always in
just
control.
so easy, almost like every time. And yeah, we had a great time in Bremerhaven that too.
So you went there and played in that old barn, eh? That must have been interesting. And then you got into the travel. So I guess you're in the
Have you been there in that old barn?
that's where I played. Yeah. I only played in the new I played in the new one too for a couple of years, but I played in the old one a couple
Yeah,
seasons.
but
Yeah.
I have to tell you how it looked when I played there. First year, it was like there was no like no glass around. It was just mash.
There was none.
Nothing. There was just like that mash, like that
Yeah.
nets. You shoot the puck in and it bounces back. Some like
So is that
so
in
bad.
play or is every time it gets over the
No,
boards,
no, no.
it's the
It's
whistle?
in play as long as the puck bounces back and it's not like whatever 10 meters over the ice, then it's just like
Just
you keep playing, keep playing. So many spectators get hit with a puck in the face because oh man. And the travel was awful. Like you get used to it, especially if you're whatever 18 or 19 years old, then you don't care, you just sit in the bus. But I remember that was a funny story. We had my coach was Draisaitl. His son is playing for Edmonton right now.
The dad was your coach?
That was my coach, yeah. And that kid, like Leon, played, or like he was on the ice with us all the time as a kid. That was pretty funny.
In
And
Bremerhaven.
yeah, yeah. So like after practice, he went on the ice and like stick handling around. He was like whatever 8 or 9 years old. But I remember one time we played playoffs in Garmisch. So Friday night we played in Garmisch. We start Friday morning at whatever 2 o'clock in the morning. So we drove down. It's like whatever 1,000 kilometers. So we played the game, won the game, and went back. And on our way back after
So
whatever,
you probably drove from 2 a.m. till the 6 p.m. you would have got there, played the game at 8 p.m. on the Friday night, right?
for sure, 100% every
Yeah.
week. So we went back. Bus broke down after whatever 30 minutes, and our coach told us to go to a bar or to a discotheque right around the corner. We had, or like the whole team was in the bar or in the I think it was a discotheque till like 4 in the morning. And by that time the bus was good, so we drove back at 4 in the morning. Everybody hammered. Go back. We came back to Bremerhaven like whatever 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon Saturday, and went on the ice. And the next day we played right away against Munich again or Garmisch again because they went up. That was unbelievable. No rest, nothing, just hang out in the bus.
Yeah, Bremerhaven is right at the top of Germany, folks, for this global podcast. And they play the teams all over the country, and everybody's got to drive all the way up there to play them, but they got to go everywhere to play, right?
Every week we had to go.
But that's when they're in the third league. Now they're in the first league.
That's yeah, but this is the only team I remember. You went in the bus. Normally you get lunch after a game, right?
Yeah.
After a game you get some whatever
food,
pizza
yeah.
on the bus or some food. But that was the only team where you get 3 meals. You get breakfast, you get lunch, and you get
after the game.
After the game. Every trip.
And then you get back home and it's the morning and
Yeah.
you start the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days. Great time.
Great time.
Okay. So then I understand now. So then the second year, so you're playing with Rich Brunella both years, and then So you guys you're in the third league the first year with the mesh, and
Exactly.
then you go up to the second league somehow. But I don't think you won it because you didn't play many playoff games.
Yeah, we did. We did. We won a championship in
You
Munich.
said you only played 6 games in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was because it was like we had no quarterfinals. We went right away to the semifinals, best of 5, and then to the championship, best of 5.
Oh, best of 5s. Yeah, Germany. I forgot about the best of
Yeah.
5s.
Yeah.
So you guys won it all, and then you go up to the second league. So they love you at
Exactly.
Bremerhaven.
Exactly. And then we won a championship in Bremerhaven, and then we went up to the second league. And by December, like between Christmas and New Year's, I hurt my arm. So the doctors told me after the surgery that I'm done with hockey. There's no way I could have come back. And
how old are you? 21, 20?
I was 20.
And they said you're done with hockey.
He said there's no way coming back. He said yeah, that was because I still have like whatever 15 screws in my arm still, 50, and like 2 metal plates. Because like my arm was that big. I remember it was terrible. I couldn't move anything, my fingers, nothing. And they told me you're done with hockey.
Sounds like sounds like you should be.
Yeah, and the team in Bremerhaven told me if they give me a tryout contract. If I make it, then I make it. If I don't, because I was injured at the end of December, so I got actually whatever 7, 8, 9 months time till the next season starts. So they said they should or they want to give me a tryout contract, and then my old teammate in Bietigheim called me. He was coached by the time in Bietigheim, and he said he give me a right away a 2-year deal, and I was taking that because I'm.
And who was the coach then?
Uli Liebsch.
Where?
No, you don't know him.
No, I don't know him. So then so the guy that didn't want you back, that coach is gone. So then they bring you back finally, which they should. You should have been there. That's you're a hometown kid and you've played there your whole life. You play in the World Juniors, you play for Team Germany for 4 years and they don't want you back. That doesn't make much sense to me, but you go to Bremerhaven, you do well, you go up to the second league, and then you get back to Bietigheim. So then I did see, because my research team's hot here, is your brother is one of the goalies.
Yeah, exactly. You did your homework, man.
Pretty good, eh?
Unreal.
Hey, this is episode Dry und Fumpsick, Dirk.
Yeah, I saw it. I was scared on the poster. No, like my brother was on the team. That was pretty cool for me or for us too. That you and your brother could play on the same team. He was there for like let me think about 2 years with me in Bietigheim. And then he was gone too. He went to another team after that. But that was a cool experience to have your brother on the team, especially if you both if it's like both home team.
Yeah, playing pro for your home team, both brothers.
That was cool, yeah.
I guess the Schofs did that too, eh? With me, yeah.
Exactly. The Schufis, but the Schufis, the Schufis. It's I can say that probably it's off the record, but the Schufis, like they start playing their hockey career somewhere else.
Oh, is that right?
They
still call them Mr. Bietigheim? Oh dear.
Yeah, they came to Bietigheim when they're whatever 14 years old or 12 years old or something like that.
Oh dear. Oh no. They didn't grow up where they were born and raised, eh? Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's okay, Renee. We still think you might get your jersey retired, because I think you might have another 2,000 games in you, the way you take care of your body.
Probably.
Yeah. Probably. So moving on is where are we? So then you're back in Bietigheim. You guys probably aren't that good because I've never heard of that coach before. So
we're very good, man. We
really?
had a very good team. But in that year when I came back, we the goal was to win a championship, seriously. And we went to the playoffs against Schwenningen, and in the quarterfinals we're up 3-0 and lost the series 4-3. So that was pretty hard, and that was then.
That's when the fans go crazy, and then all of a sudden they're firing people, and
exactly. And then the year later, it's goes down.
Yeah, because you guys did have a good thing. You just got unlucky, and maybe you learn from that, and the next year's better. But in Deutschland, they can sure. It's the same with the players and the coach. If you lose a few games, there ain't much forgiveness, is there?
Yeah, that's how it is. Like, yeah, they're pretty hard on you if you lose, and they're pretty good on you if you win. So
Yeah, and that's why I think when the budget went down in Bietigheim, I should have cut out. Like I shouldn't have stayed because I knew we were going to lose. And then the fans just they don't like anybody as much because the team's not good, but you knew they weren't going to be good when you signed up for the year. Like I knew I was signing up to have a team that wasn't that good.
yeah, like this is how it is. And the year later, I remember we had actually not a bad team, but like the whole thing was like yeah, went down the hill. Coach was fired by the middle of the year, and then Danny Held came, and whatever 3 or 4 games later, Coma came as a coach.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he was coaching.
he was the one that gave me the name Kugelblitz.
I know, yeah.
Of Round Lightning, folks. If you don't know,
he was actually very good to me, Mr. Coma.
Me too. I really liked him.
Yeah, I think if you stayed that long under him, then he liked you too. So he came there, and then the year after, Brittig was there.
Right. Brittig.
And this is where the fun begins.
So should we talk about it? Do you want to talk about it? Do you got anything to get off your chest right now? Like you could say whatever you want. It's a podcast. I'm pretty sure Brittig's not listening to this. Who knows what he's doing? But I don't think he'll find me in my shed. Hazy sunset.
That was unbelievable, man. That was
he's the most he was off his rocker. That there he had some screws loose, you'd say.
Yeah. I'm like yeah, I was visiting Flo this weekend. And
how's he doing?
Yeah,
this has like, Florian Young, folks. Number Draisaitl, 13 for the Bietigheim Steelers.
He's good. He's actually pretty good. And yeah, we're talking about it, and I was just like we had the same conversation almost, and he said that yeah, like the fun of hockey, you know, you when you grow up, you like the game, you love the game because it's a hockey game, and like that guy like finally stole it. He just stole it. Like I was done with hockey, and I don't miss anything about it because you know what I mean? I lost the fun, the love of the game with that coach.
It was weird for me because I had the best hockey season I ever had that year.
Yeah.
But like that guy pushed me like nobody in the world. He made me do some things that were pretty weird, like the 90 minutes in the sauna a day, or remember that for like 4 months, I did the 90 minutes in the sauna a day. Like riding a bike. Sorry, riding a bike. I forgot the riding the bike part.
You forget about riding the bike. So he never made me doing that because like I said, he like I'm running the 400 meters by the time he said he wants me to run that. But yeah, he had some crazy, you know, don't understand me wrong. It's always like, for me, it's like if you try to be competitive and try to get everything out of your guys, that's one thing. I like it. But the way he did it, like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, I remember one time the second year, I went to his room and told him like, hey, man, there's like, you know, you have 20 individuals here, and probably out of that 20, you need like 5 or 6 you can talk the way you do, and there are probably 5 other ones you need to do some other things with them. And the only thing he told me was like, blah, if you don't like it, then go home, blah blah blah, go and be a baby about it. And I was like, yeah, okay, fuck you, because I was listening to the podcast with Schmitty. Yeah. And that was one of my favorite stories when Schmitty said, or I was there too in that conversation when he came up to the room and told everybody about the flies, the eyes of the flies. And he was bringing me up to his room, and I remember it. He bring me up to his room and showed me some videos, and then finally he said, "Do you know what like flies?" And I was like, "Flies, yeah." And he told me the flies, they see everything in slow motion. So he was like, "Wouldn't it be great if there would be a surgery like for us like hockey players that everybody can see everything in slow motion?" I was like, "Yeah." Like he was just an
You're hitting the table again. I know you're getting worked up, but you're hitting the table again.
I'm sitting here on my desk, man.
I know. I'm just saying, like, there's some things I remember
You
that
just jump around. You just jump around.
well, there's some things I remember that from him. Like, we're in the finals. Siler Max Siler gets hurt. He has both shoulders, right? Both shoulders. He gets blown up so hard or whatever happens that both shoulders are like popped out of socket, dislocated, needs surgery on both shoulders. And he says that because he was because he had practiced in the game before and we had won, he had to practice. And he taped him up like a UPS package. Do you remember that? He couldn't use either arms. If he started falling, he was going to fall on his face.
I remember it. Yeah,
He had no
I remember.
arms.
I remember it. Or like in the second year in the playoffs when Hammer broke his whatever fibia, or how do you say that? Like the
Fibia?
bone,
Tibia?
yeah, tibia or fibia, anything like that. He broke it, right? In the first playoff game, Dougie had a slap shot and he was standing in front of the net, hit him on the under the shin pad, and he broke his bone. And he told him to still play. And remember when we played Landshut there, and he had some shots before the game on the broken bone, and how Hammer like, oh my god! And then he finally broke it through right away, whatever warm up or
Well,
first period
okay.
after 2 seconds.
Now I gotta say something because it came up just now. Is that coach? When I partially tore my PCL, the first preseason game of the season, we got 4 to 6 weeks till the season's going to start. I partially tear my PCL. The team has me go to 3 different doctors. They have me go to one that says I need to be out like 6 to 8 months. I have one that says 3 to 4 months, and then they find a doctor that's from his hometown or wherever that says I'm only out 4 to 6 weeks. And then, sure enough, on the 4th week, like as soon as it struck midnight, it's our first regular season game. Like it's a regular season game. Like it's the first one. It's just a regular season game. You don't win anything that night. And he says when we're doing at pregame skate, I got my knee brace on. My knee is wobbly. It doesn't feel right. And we're stretching as a team. And he says, doing to pump people up. And then he says, and we're going to have Wally back tonight unless he's a pussy. And I played for 4 games, completely tore my PCL, and was out for an entire season. So thanks, buddy. I'm still great. I miss you. You know, great guy.
Oh my god!
So now you got me fired up. Now I'm going to be hitting the desk too.
That was, oh my god!
Changed my life, man. That guy changed my life with that.
Yeah.
But you called me
Yeah.
a pussy. I'm going to go.
I'm on this year, like seriously, like we won a championship. I think like yeah, it's always good to have somebody who, or like someone who keeps the team together. But the way he did, boy, oh boy, I think
Think about
if
how good that team could have been without him.
yeah, or especially like I think the only reason why we stick together that much because we like the team was so good, you know, like good individuals. They don't care about anything like that. But it could have gone the totally different way.
Oh, we did have great people on that team. Absolutely great
Yeah,
people, and
that
everybody
was
knew the situation. And
yeah yeah
basically, nobody would talk when he was around. If he came in the
yeah
room, nobody would talk. Everybody would just
yeah
sit there. And then he'd leave, and then everybody try and talk again.
yeah
It was the
yeah.
weirdest year when you look back on it. That like I re-signed to go back to play for him for that second year. It was because I wanted to play with Justin. Like I wanted to play with Justin. That's why I re-signed, and I was like, I want to play with him. but it's strange, man. He was a strange individual, wasn't he?
I think he even gets stranger the year later. Remember when we were in the Ballkult? Remember that when we worked out in the summertime all the time?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When we
When
hit
we'd
when
run in the
we
sand.
yeah, in the sand, or when we hitting those big truck wheels
Oh,
with
the
with
sledgehammer.
a oh my god, or the 50 kilo sandbags we have to carry around. Remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
I do remember all
unbelievable,
of it. I remember all of it.
unbelievable. That guy, like, yeah, like I said before, I think you can break it down to one point. You lose the love of the game with this guy.
I know. So let's turn it over to something more positive, okay? I
Oh
do
yeah, that's
have a
good.
memory that you will remember, I think. You got to remember this. It's the year we win the championship. It's my first year in Bietigheim. I really don't even know that many people, but I have a hot start. I'm like 2 points a game, 20 games into the season. I got like a lot. I'm doing well. And it's the town parade. And
Oh my, yeah.
we had all gone out, right? Do you remember that?
I remember it. We end up at the train station.
Not that. No, not that. I'm talking about
No.
when we're waiting at the parade and there's like the minor hockey float in
Oh,
front of
okay.
us. You know that
Okay.
one?
Okay. I remember it. Yeah. When we're standing there and we had to wait for like an hour or
Yeah.
like 1.5 hours, we have to wait there. Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
we
That
were
was,
all
that was,
hung over and not
oh
feeling
my
well.
God.
And then there's the square dancers. Remember that?
Oh no. What was that?
So there were square dancers. The old guy's got like a karaoke thing and is singing the country songs. And we're all still kind of feeling it from the night before. And I'm singing the songs. And I think it was Sarakov says, well, why don't you sing a song? And I'm like, well, if they got George Strait, Clear Blue Sky on, I'll sing, because I thought there's no way in hell they got that song. Well, he goes, checks the iPod and they got it. Do you remember it now?
I know, remember that. And you standing there and singing a song. Oh my God.
In the
Yeah, that was
middle
that
of the
was that
road.
was that was so funny. Yeah, the parade in Bietigheim is huge, man. That was by the time it was huge. Now with Corona, it's different, but yeah, that was so much fun there.
I bet you I had 3,000 people listen to me sing George Strait, Clear Blue Sky when I'm hungover on a Sunday morning.
we had every year almost at the Bietigheim party there, Bietigheim Pferdemarkt, right?
Fair to market. That's why they had the
Pferdemarkt.
parade. It's the Feder market. That's the best time of
Pferdemarkt.
year in
Yeah,
Bietigheim, eh?
that's the best time of the year, and it's like, yeah, it's like whatever in August or something like that, start of September.
Before the
That's
hockey season really gets
that's
going.
exactly, yeah. They introduce the team all the time in the beer tents, right?
Yeah, and then the
Yeah,
night gets away from you.
yeah. That was unbelievable. Yeah, that
No,
year.
you're right. The Feder Market in Bietigheim, folks, if you don't know, is like a little Oktoberfest in a
Yeah,
small town where you got all the rides for kids, you got a beer tent, you got all the things Oktoberfest would have, just in a smaller scale. And that's like before the season starts. So there's always a night where the whole team goes, right?
yeah. That's one of the better things in Bietigheim in the year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Best. That was what I was always excited about.
that was like Bietigheim Pferdemarkt. It's always a big thing in your schedule. You
Um,
have to go there.
okay. So yeah, never mind. I'm not going to bring that up, but yeah, the Feder market was awesome. So basically, after the 2 years, then with Brittig, you must have been on a 2-year deal. If the first year he hardly played you and we win the championship, and then you came back for more, eh?
Yeah, but I had before the championship year, I remember it.
You had a
I
great
was
year, and when you played against us in Landshut in the first
yeah,
round, you had a great year. So you would have signed
yeah.
2 years, right? And then you said something in the elevator, and then all of a sudden you never played again.
Exactly, yeah. Like I had a great year, and they signed me back for 2 years, and yeah, then the elevator story happened, and yeah, I had like a rough year. We won a championship, and the next year I was playing like I was playing good hockey ice time, but at the end of the year of the second year, I was like saying to myself, I told you before, just like painkillers all the time, and yeah, at the start of the injury, I had to take painkillers for games, and at the second year, we're talking about like I had to take painkillers for getting for a walk almost, or for a run or workout in gym. So I told myself this is not the way it's supposed to be.
And so
Um,
how is it now with that?
yeah, now like you know how it is. Like your arm, it doesn't bother you if you go for a run or if you walk or something like that. You learn how to not use your arm on certain like stuff
Ways, yeah.
or certain ways, and it's pretty good. It's okay now. It's okay. Like,
With my knee, when I was done, I went through a couple years where I was like I can't get down there, I can't go do this, I can't
yeah,
go do that.
yeah,
And then it was like, well, it's totally screwed either way. And I
yeah,
was like, they say I need a knee replacement, but they won't give me one. So then I just decided, I was like, screw it. Like I'm just gonna live. And when she goes, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. But with my arm, like I told you, like knee is different. You had to walk every day on your feet, but the arms, like you learn how to deal with it. Sometimes I feel it, but yeah, I try to not use that arm that much
Well,
in certain
so
ways.
I understand totally. And yeah, it makes sense why you get out when you do. But so the other things I got then is that like you have to get out at a young age, but having your jersey retired for the rest of your life and nobody in Bietigheim ever wearing 44 again, like
Yeah.
that's quite the accomplishment, man. So congratulations. And that had to have been one of the best days of your life, no?
The jersey retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was a big day for myself, and especially like you said, I think in hockey, that jersey retirement, I think it's actually it's one of the only ways where teams or where yeah, you have your place forever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody or like you be remembered for all time if you hang up there, and this is like pretty huge. Like
Oh, for
by
sure.
the by the day you they did it, you're not
You're not
yeah,
thinking about that,
you're
maybe.
not thinking about it, you don't realize it, but every time I go there, and it's like 10 years ago, like still, like people knows you or know you because your jersey hangs up there, or like the people always say, if you don't, like if in Bietigheim or I see somebody and they say, okay, whatever, this is the jersey up there, the guy with the jersey up there, and that's pretty funny.
I think it's
And it's
incredible.
like
And
that's
like for me though, like
very famous.
and Lisa, like when we came to Bietigheim, like when I guess like with Hammer and Geipe and Abshi, like when I go to Landshut, it was basically the full year where I wasn't really hanging out with guys that much. Like I wasn't hanging out with the Germans that much. The imports had little kids, so I wasn't hanging out with them that much. But then when I go to Bietigheim and there were guys like you that were willing to like take me to the gym and show me the sauna, how it works, take me to the Feder Market, take me to Stuttgart, show me around, take me around Bietigheim. And like, it wasn't just me, it was Lisa too. Beckham was with us, the dog. Like, you made us feel like Bietigheim was home, right?
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Well, and that's why you have your jersey retired when you only play till you're 26, right?
Yeah, that's huge too. Like normally the best years are yet to come when you're
At
26.
26, yeah, yeah.
Like this is normally, or like normally the time where you break through, or it goes to a certain or to a different level. But yeah, that's unbelievable. Like that I accomplished that with like 26 years old. That was huge,
Wow, for
and I'm
sure.
actually not missing it. Like I'm pretty happy that I don't have to do that. To do that stuff. Probably it would be different if there's some other coaches or whatever. You get back the love of the game or the fun of the hockey again. But
Yeah, you'd have to go
in
to
my mind, I quit with the idea how it was the time I quit. So
yeah.
I'm good with it.
And I understand that because like honestly, when I was playing in Bietigheim, I liked the town, I liked the guys, I loved playing with Justin, best centerman I ever played with, and
Yeah,
I was like, this guy is gonna take me places, and I want to be
yeah,
with him, and we can help each other, and
yeah,
um, but that coach, man, was so difficult, and like, if you did anything that he didn't want you to do, like you could be done. He could just be done with you for the year.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not even talk to you, nothing. You're just done.
Yeah.
And that's
I
not
remember. I
that's not
remember.
hockey. That's not the way it should be. That's not,
No.
you got to be able to make a mistake and prove yourself, like, I'm not doing that again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's my opinion too. And yeah, the way he did it, I'm I was not agreeing with that. You know,
Well,
like
and like, it's for me, it was that coach liked me, and then Danny Held liked me, and but then you bring in that new guy that was naked in the sauna, and he knew he wanted to bring in his own imports. He doesn't want Brittig's imports or Danny Held's imports. He wants to bring in his own guys, and he 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 made it happen. He knew that there were sponsors that liked me, that the president liked me, that everybody liked me in town, but he made it happen. In the 4 months, he turned them on me, and I never heard from Bietigheim again about anything. And you know what? They really liked me for a while around there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is how, like, but this is the business, like it's bad about the business. But that's yeah, you sometimes you're lucky that you meet some good people, they like you, and once there are people they don't like you, whatever reason it
you're
is,
you're
I don't
you're not
know.
for everyone. It's like my song
No,
that I play
no.
before. It's like, I'm not for everyone, and I guess you weren't with the coach that sent you to the army in Bremerhaven, and
Yeah,
I wasn't the one that sends me to the biggest rivals 30 minutes down the
yeah.
road, and nobody
This is
cares.
yeah.
And
This is
yeah,
that's a bad thing. Yeah, you never should do that. But yeah, this is the way it works in Germany, I think.
well,
But
it's just the business of hockey, and like, things are good until they're not good, and then
yeah,
you bring in new coaches and they got their own thing. You can promise guys as much as you want, but like the last guy said, David Sims, is like, the final decision comes down to the coach, and he has to put his team together so you can hold him accountable when they lose. Like,
exactly. Like
if they make Gaudette keep me and then we lose, he's gonna blame it on me.
yeah.
So you gotta let me go. And it's just tough because I went through a couple years there that I didn't need to be loyal to them.
Yeah, yeah, like the coach is a responsible guy, like they kick his ass if it doesn't work out. But I think it's always tough if you find a place, especially in the hockey business, where like it's not soccer, you don't sign contracts for like 5, 6, 7 years. You sign for 1 year or 2 years, and then if you sign back, this is like happened to you probably once in your career. But if you find a place like for you, Bietigheim, or for me, where I stay, like I played 10 years pro and played like 8 years in Bietigheim. It's like always tough if you lose that, yeah, that feeling which you think it's home,
Yeah.
you like it there so much. And
And then all of a
yeah,
sudden you're not as welcome as it was.
yeah, you're disappointed because by like one finger click or one change, you're out.
Yeah. And like, if, yeah, for me, I didn't know if I was going to bring this up or not, but like, it's funny because, like, you talk about politics and you talk about it in like kids games, and then you talk about it in junior or NCAA or pro, and you're like, well, you really want it to be at the end of the day that the best guys get in the ice time, the best guy that deserves it's playing more. And like, realistically, in Bietigheim, when you were not playing, the president of the team's son was playing like top 4 minutes and was like 18, 19 years old. And, he had a partner that really could help him. But like, you'd say that there were some politics, and I know you're too nice of a guy, you're not going to ever bitch about it, you don't say anything about it, but like, if that would have been me in those shoes, and the
Yeah.
president's son is playing top 4 minutes as a D man, and I'm playing 6th, 7th D when I was a top pair the year before. And then we get a new president, and now all of a sudden the son is top 4. That's not the way hockey should be ran.
No,
But we
definitely
won a
not.
championship, and
Yeah,
I guess everybody was happy, right?
exactly. This is how it works. If you're successful and no one cares about it. I remember I had some conversation with him when he kicked me out there. I was talking to him, and yeah, he never gave me a right answer. You know what I mean? Not an answer, because this is the same what
There
you
is
said.
no, there is no,
No,
there is no
no.
reason to it. There, it was what it
Yeah.
was.
So I remember one time he told me like as a D man, if the puck gets dumped in your corner, because like you said it before, if there is one thing, I was not a good hockey player, but if there is one thing I could do, then it was skating.
Oh,
So yeah,
I played against you for a full 7-game series with Landshut,
yeah,
and you were the lefty, I was the right winger, man. You could play hockey, and when I got to Bietigheim, and I'm like, well, that guy's going to be on your top 4, and then the way they treated you when that's your
yeah,
hometown, and
yeah,
somebody should have your back at that point because you were
for
way
sure.
too good to be treated the way you were,
Yeah,
but that's how it went. And then you know what? You were the first guy to celebrate the trophy. You never bitched. You were a pro. You were a good teammate. You, and like you said, that season could have gone different ways. And it was because guys like you and Florian Young that got totally hosed that year, that were better players than what they were given.
yeah,
Um, you guys didn't bitch, and you guys were better people, and you guys just went to work and went to practice and went to the games, and that's why we won. You guys could have changed that year based on how you were treated.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we could have bitch all the time, or like turn it around, or like easily. And this is, I think, a lot of teams it happens to them, because there's some disappointed persons in the room,
And that's what
and
happened
they,
to us at the end of Bietigheim.
yeah,
We had
yeah,
little pouty little kids
yeah,
that
yeah,
complained about ice time and
yeah, yeah,
points and power play time and all this
yeah,
bitchy
yeah.
shit.
And I was like, for myself, I remember he told me, like, at the start of the year when he benched me, like I was like asking him what's the problem, and he said the only thing he wants me to do is like go in the corner and rim the puck as hard as I can. Don't even look if there's an open, and that was never my play. You know what I mean? That never my game. Like, if there's no other option, no problem. But I think I was able to turn my head around and see if there's somebody coming, or if I got a little bit of time, and he just wants me to rim the puck as hard as I can. And that was exactly what the president's son did, right?
Yeah, no,
So
it was the way we played hockey was like he had a video game controller, and we all did whatever he told us.
yeah,
You had to do it or you did not play. Like, but the only people that were allowed to do other stuff was Justin and I. Really, like nobody
yeah,
else was allowed to do anything.
no, nothing, like nothing off the charts, like no way. It was just a robot, man. And yeah, like you said, if there are a couple more guys or like different characters on our team, it could go totally a different way. And we didn't have that celebration at the end of the year. He probably get fired by whatever when. In the end of the day, it would be better probably.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was like, yeah,
it was a
some
strange
some
couple
some
years,
strange
right?
strange
Yeah,
strange. And then for me it was that's why it was not very hard for me to just say, okay, I'm quit, I'm done.
right. And like
I'm
for
done.
me, I stayed because I wanted to play with Justin. I thought we were going to the first league, and I'm like, I could be like first, second line in the DL on this team
Yeah,
because the coach likes me. I'm playing with Justin. You know what? If I got to run 1,400 meters, I'll do that to play in the DL. So I signed the deal. Then the next year we don't go up. I hurt my knee and I miss a whole season. And then it's like, well, who else is going to sign a guy that just missed a whole season in Europe?
yeah,
The only team is the team I had been with, and they did sign me. And Brittig signed me again, which was nice of them for the third year. But then from the start of the season, man, it was it was nuts, man. It was We weren't good. The budget was down. We weren't going to be good. And that guy couldn't handle losing. And like the things he was having us do, he was telling us to shoot it from the red line. He said there was always a threat to shoot it from the red line.
Yeah.
So we started taking clap bombs from the red
Aus
line.
der
If I
Hand
didn't take a slap shot
spielt
from the
der
red
Ball.
line, yeah, slog shoes from the Rotalinia.
Schlagschuss.
Oh, lick me a mosh.
Rote Linie.
Yeah, that guy's a mess.
Oh my God.
Well, anything positive to say after talking about that ding dong? Oh yeah, you did. You did must have found a little bit of the passion for hockey again, because you did play in the fourth league about 3 to 4 years later, eh? So you decided to go out for a skate again in Bietigheim?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty funny thing, and I was because like one of my old buddies I played with when I was 16, 17 years old. He was coaching the juniors in Bietigheim, and they find him a second team, or like the second team in Bietigheim, not the pros, the team underneath, where like all the kids go, or the under 18, under 20 players go, which didn't make the pros. They play in that team, and we played in the fourth league, and he asked me to play with him, or to practice with him, just to practice. And you know how it goes, you practice a couple of times and then they ask you to play a game, and like finally you're in the team, you know what I mean, and play like a lot. And yeah, I was not in Ravensburg by that time. I was in Bietigheim, had a lot of time, so I played a couple of games with them. Yeah, that was pretty funny though, because yeah, but funny, but
But you tried to bring the love for hockey back. Did it work?
yeah, it works. Yeah, because it's
But not really, because you're not playing like a real game where you're like giving her and like it's the full thing, right?
no, like, but it was actually, if you play the playoffs, we played against Heilbronn in the playoffs, and a couple of players there in those teams, and there's a lot of bad blood in those games. But in those leagues, you have to, the first priority is not to win the game. It's just to get off the ice after the game, in the same shape or in the
That
same
you went
health
on. Yeah.
condition as you went on. So because, like,
You just don't want to
they're,
get
they're
hurt.
they
It
could they
sucks being hurt in life.
yeah, they can play, but actually, and especially if you know how it is, if you play on a team and other people know that you play pro, they want to show you how
Oh,
good they are.
yeah. And
And
they want to stop you. They want to go home and
yeah,
tell their wife that they stopped Dirk
exactly.
Wrobel on a
Yeah,
one-on-one.
exactly. So this is not that was not very smart, but thank God I came out of that with no hard thing, or no
Okay.
hard injury. But
Well,
that was kind of giving me back that I love hockey too much, but it was just fun to play there.
no, and I understand how you got out of the game the way you did, how
But
hard those last
sorry,
2 years.
when I break through it, like I think the most reason for me to start playing was not on the ice; it was off the ice, to hang out with the boys again. This is
Yeah.
one of the things I still miss, just to hang out with the boys after games or after practice. Like in 2 years, the last 2 years, Bietigheim, when I played, like Bietigheim, we don't, like, be honest, we don't have that. We It could have been way better
Oh,
to
we
hang
could
out
have had
with
the
the boys.
best team
Cabine
ever.
Fest and stuff like that. We never had that. We had Cabine Fest a couple of times. I remember it. We had drinking cola and spezi or whatever, and some water, and eat like fried chicken. And
Yeah.
I remember Cabine Fest the years before. That was like, for me, it's like, sticking
It's
together as a
what
group.
it is. What makes a team, and that's I thought what made Europe was that you had Cabina Fest. And folks who haven't listened to the Hammer episode, a Cabina Fest is basically the team gets together. Two guys would plan a meal, and you rotate through like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and everybody will do a Cabina Fest a year. and you plan a meal for the whole team, but then it's drinking. It's like you practice on a Tuesday, you have the hardest practice of the week, and then you have fun for the rest of the day, right? And
Yeah.
you become a team and you all go out as a team. You eat in the locker room, you drink beers, and then you hit the town, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. And I remember like the 2 years with Britick, we never had that.
Never. But we
I
had
remember.
such good players that you could make it happen without being a team, right? Like, but
Yeah,
but we had such good people that
yeah,
it didn't matter. We didn't do that
no,
because everybody knew
no,
the situation we were in.
yeah. Remember we had Monday fun days at the
I
start of the championship year. We
Yeah, oh
quit it
yeah.
after like whatever two
Too
three
much.
times.
We did it like at least 4 or 5 times, and I do remember when it stopped, but it was so much fun and it brought the team together. It brought everybody together that we were getting
Yeah,
together for Monday Fun Day. We'd start at noon, we'd go out for lunch, have a couple, walk around Stuttgart,
yeah,
go for dinner, have a few drinks, and then all of a sudden you're a team. Like you're a
yeah,
team, right?
yeah, exactly. And yeah,
And yeah, I know.
I remember winning the championship, and remember it when we were in Munich winning the championship, and we came to the bus, and he was like mad about that we had like 2 cases of beer in the bus after winning the championship.
And the only reason was because he was worried about himself drinking.
Exactly.
And instead we're not allowed to be ourselves and have fun, and we just win a championship. And yeah, it was quite the time. But okay, one thing while I got you on here before it's over, the Hellbron Bietigheim, because it came up, that rivalry and what those fans are like, because Canadian fans and North American fans won't get it. Can you explain what like a Bietigheim Hellbron game is like?
A Bietigheim Heilbronn game is like, yeah, it's like
Because I played for both teams and they're 30 minutes away, right?
yeah, it's like 30 minutes away, and it's like a big rivalry. And yeah, everybody's like, especially if you're from one of those towns, even if you're a player or a fan, you're waiting for this for like whatever. If you see in the schedule, it's like whatever 3 weeks away. You're looking forward to that games, and even fans do. And yeah, it's big thing. Like you better not lose to the other team. Even if you, like I explained, whatever, have 10 losses in a row or 10 losses in a row before that game, and you win that game, whatever, 4-3 after in overtime, the world is good. You know what I mean?
The fans are fine with you. You won that game.
You have to win, and there's so many emotions in that game, like from the fans and even on the ice, especially if you have a couple of players which grow up in one of those two systems. And yeah, it's like there's an unwritten rule: you never lose to Heilbronn as a Bietigheim player, or you never lose to Bietigheim if you're a Heilbronn player. But this is huge. It's like in
I,
soccer, whatever. If you play for Real Madrid, never lose to Barcelona.
You're right though, and it is exactly the same, just a smaller scale. Because I remember coming back to like the Bietigheim Arena when we'd win, and they would be lighting off fireworks, like, and I'm like, this is a regular season game against,
Yeah,
and they're lighting off fireworks, and the
they
fans
go
are just
they
going
go crazy,
Looney
man.
Tunes, right?
They go crazy, especially like Europe, or like in Germany, hockey fans are different than Canada.
Totally different.
You know that they're like have those drums and singing all the games and like go crazy all games. But those games against those rivalries, they're like it's another level. You know what I mean? It's like
Totally
this is
different level. You got the
the
SWAT
normal
police in the
level.
crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, like the normal level, which is way crazier than it is back in Canada. And then you have those games against those rivalries, and this is like another on top, another level on top. So this is crazy stuff.
Well, when they
Especially,
start doing the smoke bombs and like the
yeah,
smoke's coming out and like you got like flares happening and there's
yeah,
fireworks going off and like the
yeah,
game's about to start. And then you'll
yeah,
play games where like they're throwing full pints on the ice and
yeah.
they're smashing on the ice and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I remember as a like when I started playing with the pros, they had in Heilbronn they had the old barn, and for the opposite or opponent team, you got to walk through the fans of the other team to the ice. So every time we walked there, we had like whatever police guards and security guards to cover us because they were spitting on us, like they were throwing shit on us. It was crazy, man. It was crazy.
I,
But this is how it's like, it's fun, you score a goal and have run and like whatever cheering and they go nuts. It was just crazy.
no, man, it brings back so many memories because it's been
Yeah.
so long. Like,
That's the highlights of the year, if you play those rivalry games.
that and winning in
Unbelievable.
Munich, and then like and doing what we did the next couple days. Like you were the one that picked us up downtown before the
I
parade, right?
was, yeah, I was. I had after the game, I went home. I remember and picked you guys up in downtown, and I was just remember like open up
Because
the
but
open
you
up.
okay, so you're from Bietigheim and you know what's actually happening. You know German. Then there's us Canadians that just wake up with our Nokia phones. We got no iPhones, we got no internet, we don't give a shit. We win the game and we just wake up and say, "You want to go downtown for beers?" And we
Yeah,
did. That's all we knew. We didn't know there was a parade.
you didn't know?
No, we had no clue. We didn't know
Hmm.
why all the people started showing up downtown.
Yeah, because you cut your jeans, man. That was that was one of the worst looks I've ever had, man. That
You
was
think
that
so?
was
I thought it looked
disgusting.
really good with this shirt
Yeah,
on right here, the Deutsche
that
Meister, buddy.
oh, the
I
Deutsche
still
Meister
got it,
shirt.
buddy.
I
That's
love
been
it.
through a
Yeah.
lot over the years.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember Beckham was on the parade too.
Beckham did come on the float with me. That's my dog, folks. My dog was
Yeah.
on the float, and I remember the coach,
But
the coach. I got on the same float with him, and you know how he couldn't drink and doesn't drink, and he came near me, and I said, "Coach, I'm drunk today. Just give me my space, please." We just won the championship. You told me we couldn't have beers all year. Like, just back off, Matt.
just back off, go away.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was
you
that
go
was a
do
fun
you.
that was a funny day. But because I think no one of us expected something like that. This parade. And I think it was way bigger than everybody
Way
would
bigger.
dream of. Like I probably they said, okay, you had a parade, or I knew we had a parade, but we thought probably you stand there some balcony and whatever 15 fans was there, but it was packed, man. Whole city was full of people
It was
and
it
just
was
cheered,
insane.
man.
And we couldn't figure out, all of a sudden you show up and you're like, "What are you doing? We got a parade." And then we all pack in the car and we get to the arena. We get on the float, and then all of a sudden the whole town, like from the arena to downtown, and then there's
Everybody
fireworks
was
going off.
falling in us, eh? Yeah,
It would there was thousands and thousands and
yeah,
thousands of
yeah,
people, and
yeah.
we didn't even know any of this was even happening. And I was in my cutoff jeans with this shirt on, my Deutsche Meister shirt on.
Deutsche Meister shirt, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
It
Yeah,
was, man. But like I said, like if it wasn't for you and Florian Young and like Dan Hallman and a bunch of guys that probably even Herbie Geisberger, like
yeah.
there was a bunch of guys and there was so much money to go around for that team that like he could do that to guys and they just don't play the rest of the year and we're still going to be successful.
Yeah,
And it was because we had that many good players on a team,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
was, but for you guys to be the guys you were, from Herbie to Dan to you to Flo, all of you are the reason we won that year, right? Like if any, or even Dotzler, that guy was a sixth, seventh D man, and he plays in
yeah,
the DL for the next 20 years,
yeah,
right? And like,
yeah.
and you're telling me he wasn't good enough to play in the second league that year? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, that was like kind of, especially like I said, I told you before, he was kicking me out as a D man, and finally, like in the playoffs, he needs me then as a forward then, and I was getting my ice time in the playoffs. But yeah, like I said, if there are different characters on our team,
We don't
we
win.
yeah we get out, or we would have been falling out in the first round of the playoffs for sure, because everybody's sick and tired of that. Everybody says whatever, okay, we go home, and yeah, you guys say, hey, go back to Canada, we have a longer summer, and we didn't have to listen to that anymore. So yeah,
No, I understand, but like, man, it's been great to see you again. Like, I miss you.
yeah,
And
I I I, I love it too. Always. I remember we talking about when was it? Maybe probably 1.5 years ago.
Well, we
or a
did
year
have a
ago.
FaceTime like at the start of COVID, right? We had a long FaceTime and we were like, geez, we haven't seen each other in so long. And
Yeah,
then when I started this, I'm like, well, you got to be one of the first guys on. And then with the time change and like kids
yeah.
and
Finally,
everything.
we're at 53 now.
Yeah. Well, sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
It just,
That's okay. It's
there's a
okay to
lot of German guys I would love to have on. And like the thing
other
is
part.
if I had the time and
Yeah,
if I could, I don't like because during the day I got to work and then on the weekends it's family time and it's like, well, when do I do this? It's like,
yeah.
so yeah, no, I got a week off here coming up. And I'm gonna try and get a couple in while I'm at the cottage with some built-in babysitters with my parents, you know?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure everybody will be happy on my holidays. I'm trying to podcast.
for sure, for sure. No, but thanks for having me on this.
Hey, buddy. No,
It was
seriously,
a
you meant a
pleasure.
lot to me in my life, and that like
Pleasure.
you made us welcome in Bietigheim. You made it feel like home. You helped us with everything we needed, like from our first year to when you weren't even on the team. Like you were just a good person, and like I miss you, and I wish I got to see you more. But like I guess you're in a different part of the world.
Exactly. But thanks for having me, and thanks for this yeah podcast, man.
Yeah, man. I just yeah. I hope your family enjoys it, and they like listening to the whole story and how it all went down because that's why I do it, right?
Perfect, man.
Okay. And this has been
So
another episode of Zwei Ales und Zwei Tales mit Dirk und Waldi.
sehr gut, sehr gut.
Sehr gut, gute Nacht.